So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for making the time to join us on this call. MDC Mondays is a call that we try to share information about with those who are in this business with us, the Fuel Factor X business. Fuel Factor X being a premium product by MDC, My Daily Choice. It's really your superior fuel treatment in the market. And as a top product, as a premium product, and the opportunity that it provides us, we try to just share useful, practical information that we can use to build our businesses, that we can use to make ourselves very effective in what we do. And so we'll use this session every Monday to train, and thereafter give opportunity for questions and answers after the training has taken place. The questions can be from the training itself or from the business at large. So feel free, as the training continues for the next few minutes, feel free to jot down your questions, post them in the chat if you can, or at the end of the training session, raise up your hand, unmute yourself, ask your question. We will allow for all that. So welcome once again. And please take some efforts to invite your team members next week, and other people who might find this information useful. Today we have our leader from the US, Dale, with us today. Thank you very much, Dale, for being on the call. We have Stephen Kavilu, country manager in Kenya, and I know he's also working across the borders to just ensure that we are supported as we should. Availability of product, payment systems, all that. Thank you very much, Steve. And today we'll have the privilege of listening to Steve. He is a social media guru. So we have a lot to learn from him, how to make ourselves more effective on social media, how to use those tools, powerful tools at our disposal. I see we have various guests from various countries, from South Sudan, from Uganda, from Tanzania, Jody from the US as well. Thank you, Jody, for your awesome support. Yeah, so let's do this. Steve, the helm is yours. Please take it away.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And thank you all for taking time to join us today. I wanted to start off on a good note and celebrate a gentleman who has done us a lot of good. I don't know if half of you have your voices after the weekend. Maybe you would want to sing something small to a good gentleman. Let me share my screen.
Feel free to visit Franklin.
So Dale, first and foremost, we want to wish you a nice, simple, happy birthday.
Oh, thank
Mr.
you.
Dale. And it's very, very important for us to celebrate because, years don't go backwards, they actually go forwards. So, Matthias, you can lead us in a small song of happy birthday.
Wow, you're putting me on the spot, eh? Well, happy birthday, Dale. Did you celebrate your birthday this weekend or is it today?
It was yesterday.
It was yesterday.
Oh, great. Dale, happy birthday to you. I'm not a good singer. Steve is putting me on the spot. Yeah. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to
Birthday to
you.
you. Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday, dear
dear
Dale.
Dale.
Happy
Happy birthday
birthday
to
to
you.
you.
Okay, there's a soprano.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I think from the entire team, we want to wish you well. And with the coming year, a lot of prosperity. This is an investment. I think it's important to also celebrate and appreciate you. There are small things in life that make a big difference. So I think this is one of them, Dale. And we want to say happy birthday, sir.
Thank you. I just turned 69, so if what you said earlier about it now going backwards, I'm okay with that.
Okay. Now that we're done with that, I think we can move on. So I would want us to have the same kind of meeting that we had last time, which was very interactive and trying to understand exactly what does it mean to actually do business online. And I think what is the most important is to try and understand the science. And when I say the science is to try and get to know what you need to do. Okay. I think in a layman's language, this is from what you can see from your from the presentation. It's like you have an insight, you get an audience, you hook them up to what you need them to understand, or the idea that you want them to understand. They get to understand it, then you start reaching out to everybody because they come back to you, and you retain and you scale. Now, it may sound very simple, but there's a lot of science that comes together with it, and it's very, very key that you understand that science that comes with it. And I'll not be too wordy in terms of exactly what needs to happen, but I'll ask you to pick something we call a lean startup. It's a methodology of being able to develop businesses and products that aim to shorten the product development cycles, okay? And rapidly discover if the proposed business model is viable, meaning that you try something and you understand if it is working for you. We live in different times, different locations, different engagements, different audiences, and it's always good to work with something that is appreciated or well engaging with the community or the people that you're going to work with. So I do use this style of methodology because I think it is important to understand it is easy, or it is easy to adjust based on exactly what you have. You have the idea, you have the engagement, you have the people, then from there you're able to know exactly what to do. So I'll go to the next screen. So the lean startup process, it's an interesting process, okay? It's divided into 4 sections. That's the design thinking, lean, user experience, agility, okay, or what you call agile, and then growth hacking, meaning that you grow with whatever that is there. So we start off. The first thing that you need to do is to try and understand. You need to know, we live in a world where we look for solutions. When we go online, we look for solutions. Do I want to grow thinner? Do I want to grow a bit bigger? Can my car move a bit faster? Can it? What is the problem with my vehicle? What's the problem with I mean, anything. And I think that's where we start our story from, because I think it's important to understand, where do we start? What do we need to understand? Okay. Now, the minute that you actually have a very clear need, and that's where we start our journey from. Clear need, meaning that I'm looking for something. Now, with our product, which is the FFX, 90% of the people who would want to know about it want a product that is clean, or that one that cleans their fuel, one that can improve the fuel efficacy on their vehicles, one that can actually be able to, that meets standards, that stands out as a fuel additive. And why do we need this? Either your car is not functioning well, or maybe you put bad petrol or something, there's always a reason to why. And the minute that you actually come across our product, you will start looking or trying to find out more. That's where the research aspect comes in, and you try and understand what is it that this product is special? Why is it standing out more than the others? What is it that it does? And that's where the explanation comes in, and you try and understand. And you also try and prioritize it among other items. You're no longer thinking just about a fuel additive, but something that is going to help you understand. And this is where you also come across what we call the brainstorm concepts. What can I do with it? Can I resell it? Okay, you start looking at it in a commercial way. How can I actually take it to the market? Then you come up with an idea. Okay, a hypothesis. Hypothesis means that you come up with ideas or a way of being able to take it to the market. And you ask yourself, how do I do this? Now, in social media, you'll need to know how to take it to the market. Do you take a photo? Do you ask questions? Do you engage a friend? Do you share with a friend? What kind of statement do you actually leave for people to understand? Okay. And what is most important is to try and understand, if I take this to the market or I take it through my social media platform, what does it mean? And I think this is where we start understanding, how do we place what we need to place on the platform? What do I put on my social media platform? Now, you can either put up a photo, you can either put a write-up, you can put a video about explaining the product, and many values across. And this is where you experiment. Are people actually looking at what you're actually sharing? Yes. If it is working, then you'll actually see somebody asking questions. If it is not working and it is just sitting there, then again, you have to ask yourself, is it viable? What is it that I'm missing? Is it the message that I've actually taken to the market? So in that section, you're actually looking for a customer. And the customer that you're looking for is one who shares the same thoughts as you, okay? Somebody who is having a problem with their vehicle, somebody who is having a problem with fuel, somebody who is having a problem trying to understand if there's a better additive, fuel additive in the market. And this is where you keep on going around the same idea. Is it the language that you're using? Is it the different perspectives that you're using? And you refine it. How do you refine it? We actually look at it and we share. The minute we share, we'll start getting questions. Where can I get it? How quickly does it work in my car? And all those kind of questions that usually come with a new product that is in the market. How much is it? Okay. And if the experiment is successful, then you actually are able to move to the next idea, which means that now you build up on the idea, or rather on your postings. Meaning that you'll need to explore, you'll need to start looking at target markets, you'll need to get feedback from the people you're dealing with, you need to fix the product details based on the market that you're actually working in, okay? And I'll give a good example. If I was in the US, I would target anybody who does a lot of movement. If I can actually be able to get a friend of mine or two friends of mine who does a bit of driving, quite a bit of driving, I think this would be a fantastic idea. If I switch and say that I want to sell this product in somewhere like South Sudan, what are the needs of the people of South Sudan? Okay, how do we cook in South Sudan? Okay, these are primary needs. The secondary needs, they're primary needs. I think it would work very well with the people who use kerosene and want to burn a bit longer, or rather want to get a lot of value from their kerosene. So again, how do I get it into the market? How do I share with the person who actually requires this product? Do I use local language? Do I show them how it works when you mix it with kerosene? How does it work? So again, you have to have new processes of trying to take it to the market. You will not take it in the original format that you found it in. You'll actually try and troubleshoot and try and give and get things or values that align with the market and the audiences that you have. If the product fits, and that's the pink circle, then it means that you have a set of customers who are coming in, and you start growing groups or people who can actually be able to value add or take it to the market in the same way that you did. Because again, for them, it has to be that experiment. And if it works and it's giving the results that you want, then we're able to grow those channels, okay? And the experiments keep on continuing round and round. And this means that we share information as much as possible. This is where you have growth. You have different groups. They may be the cooking groups, they may be the car groups, they may be the people who would want to clean their fuel. You continue creating more and more groups because at this particular time you have target customers. Now, at this particular level, it is no longer your idea. It's now an idea for the group, and the group will always come back and ask you, how do we do this? So you must also come up with innovative ways of being able to spread the product in the market, meaning that you have to have costs or accounting that makes sense for them. How much does it cost for them to actually get it into the market? How far or how quickly can they get it? Okay. And this is where the mathematics of understanding how much do I need to spend, how much money am I spending on marketing, how much money am I getting from the value that I'm actually selling to the people, how much will I get per product when I sell it to them. MDC, how is it paying? How many customers do I have? If I am able to do up to about 15 customers in a month, then I think the value starts coming back, okay? And this is where you actually understand that you can actually be able even to offer. The more the bigger the audience, the better it is for us to be able to grow. And I'll give you a good example that we have been doing with DRC Congo. Our target market were the people who are riding bikes. And we realized that the bike essence was very, very ingrained in that market. So if we could get at least the droplet scenario or have people to actually use it in the droplet scenario, then we would have an audience of people who would want to use the product. Again, very big market when it comes to power. 90% of DRC Congo does not have power. So they actually use a lot of generators. So again, your target market is generators. So if I was to prepare something in that line, I would prepare a photo or something that would align with what the market connects with locally. And I think that is the most important thing, because once you have one person who has used it, then you use that person to actually help you grow the market, because it is it's a plus in their market. So I would not want to sound as if I'm a broken record, but I would want to ask, and I'll ask this with some of our audiences that are here. Maybe I'll start off with Matt. Matt, are you available? Okay. Okay, so let me look for somebody.
Yes, I am.
Okay, you are, okay. How would you use your lean startup process? Because I've tried to explain, maybe I would want a few questions, or maybe to try and see if you have understood what I have said. What do you think? How do you want to take this?
For me, this is a practical approach to just coming up with a means or a method of going into the market. Okay. Identifying the specific customer segment, developing the material or the message for that particular segment, depending on their needs, and then now going through the process to roll it out. And for me, this gives me like a template on how to do that. Okay. So for me, for example, if it's a transport sector, and even if it's a transport sector, maybe a specific segment of that sector in Kenya. Do some little research online, maybe talk to a few players in the industry, find out what are their main challenges as far as fuel is concerned. Is it the cost? Is it the quality? So with that, formulate a message that resonates with their need. And once that is done, I'll figure out what's the format I'm going to use to tailor my product or FFX to what they need in the market.
Okay, fantastic. I think we have it. I know it looks a bit complicated for some of us, and maybe they would not understand it. But I think if you went through the steps of exactly what I'm talking about on how to post, because this is all about posting and how much you spend online, it will make a lot of sense. Because again, you just don't post for the sake of posting. You must post to get value. And if you're looking for that value, then you must have some kind of idea around what you're actually going to do. And before you go into the idea, you must experiment to see, yes, is it making sense? Is it actually getting to the people that I wanted to target? Okay, is it getting to my target audience? So let's go to the next one. So the most important bit is to plan. You need to listen, okay, and you start engaging slowly, and you monitor. How many people are actually liking your posts? How many people have actually come back to you? The curiosity of wanting to know what is it that you are actually sharing with them is very important. Your message must also be very clear. So the 4 pillars: you must plan for your content. You must look at your content, understand what it's all about. You need to listen to what the market says. So every time you post, you need to listen, you need to understand. Maybe that's where people want to know more about. You must engage. Within 30 minutes of maybe a written correspondence online, you should be able to respond. It just shows that you're present. And then be able to monitor. Every day, check. If I did a post last week, how far has it gone? Okay, how many people have actually liked it? That's where you start getting the questions. That's where you start connecting with the audiences. And that's where you start understanding exactly what needs to happen. So here I'm going to give you a very simple system. I would want to use it and say it will actually enhance your engagement online. And you just don't keep on posting the same thing over and over again. You must change. And when you change, you must have different perspectives of exactly what is there. And it must be aligned with the product that you want to send to the product, to the market. So on Monday, I would post maybe an inspirational post that's between 7 and 9:30. Give it some time. In the afternoon again, pick an article on the same product, share. I would want to use the FABE system. That's the features, attributes, benefits, and evidence. Okay, so you must use the four pillars. Okay, on Tuesday I would want to do one at about 10 o'clock. Is a promotional post, maybe FFX with a special prize. Run it again maybe in the afternoon, maybe from about noon till 1 p.m. Then again in the evening, maybe run a few live videos, or even have a live session with people. Try and connect and start asking questions, or let them ask you questions. It should not last for too long, maybe about an hour and a half. A session like what we're having right now would be very, very good if you run it online, trying to explain the product. Very many people after 7 p.m. usually are at home, relaxed, and will also connect with you. During the day, it's a bit off. So you'll actually realize that live sessions are either over the weekend or during working days after work, okay? Again, on Wednesday, you can run a small contest, maybe put a questionnaire out, find out who is actually able to follow what you're actually sharing with people. It's very, very important that you have engagement, and the contests help you raise awareness and at the same time engagement, and it's also fun. So there are things that you must do just to keep people on their toes. On Thursday, I'll do a blog post, okay, talk about the product, maybe specifically talk about the features of the product. Why is it so different from everything else? But at the same time, don't write too much, just enough for people to actually be able to read. To catch somebody's attention, it takes you about 8 seconds. If you have captured his attention for the next 10 10 minutes, you'll have his full attention. After that, he'll want to move to the next thing, and that's human. And that's sort of the timelines that we've been given. So you have exactly about between 5 to 7 minutes to actually make a point to anybody that you're doing, to anybody that you're connecting with. Share an old blog, something that maybe people have seen before but has gained a lot of traction. Put a question out in the day, okay? Find out exactly what people know about for your product. And all this shows you the different approaches that you have for the same product, but from different perspectives. Group engagement, find out if you have groups in particular places, what do they think, how do they engage, or what is interesting from their end. Conduct some polls, find out if it's viable to have the product in the local market. You can get a poll and find out from the local market and everything else. Weekend tips, these are small quotations that you put up to share with everybody else. So this shows you exactly what we can do. On Sunday, we can go 100% because you have ample time to be able to engage people and even run quite a number of activities at the same time. And all this builds up to your engagement with people online. If we only post one post in a week, the rest of all the other slots will be empty. It means that your engagement is just once. I usually say out of sight, out of mind. So you must have some kind of engagement, and you must understand the engagements that we have that continue keeping us alive online. So here I've again broken it down to the type of Facebook posts or Instagram posts that you must have. You must give a description if it's a Facebook Live of what you're going to present. Okay, title of the video should not run more than 30-40 minutes. Okay, if it's an image for profile pictures, it should be at least 180 by 180. That's a pixel. If it's a cover picture, which is the one that is right at the top, should be between 820 and 312. Then we have a timeline image, which is 1200 by 630. Okay, it's always good to use high resolution photos. Okay, if it's a movie, which is a Facebook video, should be most preferred an MP4 or movie. Facebook links, and Facebook links now, this is where we take advantage again of the links that we have, the short codes that we have from our My Daily Choice product funnel, because you can actually put links that take you directly to our page, and it's very, very important. Why is all this important to us? It's because we have about 350 million photos that are uploaded on Facebook every day. I would want us to be one of them, and hopefully not just one, a number, okay? Your reach of customers or audience will always increase by about 45%, depending on exactly how much engagement that you're doing and how interesting it is. So you must also look at what does it entail? What does it need to have? You see some people using hashtag fuel. These are hashtags to help you pull audiences that are aligned to what you have. 100 million hours of video are watched every day on Facebook. Again, you must come up with ideas. Copy and paste, not too bad, but at the same time, copyright issues always come up. If you did your own video, much even better, with guidance from somebody who understands the product very well, and it makes a lot of sense for everybody to watch you do a presentation. It actually engages more. Live videos used on Facebook increased by 50% to 2022. During COVID times, our engagement on social media just skyrocketed because everybody was at home. And I think that trend till today keeps moving on. So we cannot dismiss social media. I think it is the first and foremost face of what we actually do. So why? Facebook marketing strategy. You need just to understand. If you advertise, and we have got two types of advertising. You have got organic, where you don't pay for it. And then again, you have got what we call paid advertising. You'll always see Facebook asking you, do you want to boost your posts? If you boost your post, then again, there are metrics and small things that you need to have so that you can actually be able to engage, okay? From that engagement, you'll attract a significant number of users, irrespective of the kind of video that you put up. You'll always get an engagement. So again, this is the door, this is the pathway to going into social media. This is the pathway of taking your product to the market. Localized, better, more engaged if you share more and more information. So I would encourage and I would want us to be visible if we can. And then that's the best way to engage with the current potential customers that we have, or anybody who would want us to know more about our product, FFX. I would have loved to show you maybe after this engagement, our Facebook page for FFX, and show you just what we are talking about. On average, we have got 1.56 billion daily active users. That's on Facebook, and that's just one channel. We have Twitter, we have all these others which are out there. We have 60 minutes that is spent every day by people. And Facebook in the US ads are expected to grow by 13% in 2023.
Have we lost Steve, or is it just my connection?
I can hear him.
I think if you need me to shout, I'll shout.
I can hear you fine, Stephen, but I guess Matthias can't.
Maybe I think it's the weather. I'm not wrong. So all this engagement, there must be a channel. There must be a channel of being able to take this. And this is what we do. You pick your MDC capture page and engage or get the links that are there and connect them to Facebook, leading you to the products that you would want to market, so that you have what we call a pipeline or a funnel of taking your products or your customers straight from where you have found them to somewhere they can actually make a purchase or even engage in a more settled environment. So it's very, very important that you enhance that lead generation. You must use those links. Our CEO has done a fantastic job with the links. He has created for you product funnels. He has created for you product links. He has created for you capture pages, meaning that you can actually engage somebody immediately, that you talk to them on Facebook and tell them, join me and buy the product. Again, visibility, how he has done it, superb, extremely superb. Okay, and you're able to build your online brand as you move along. So I'll not be too wordy. I'll also want to give everybody a chance to be able to engage and ask a few questions. So I've given you about 7 or 8 points to actually be able to understand how to improve your engagement rate. Okay. If it's videos, you caption up to 12 words. Don't do too many. People don't read much. Okay. Duration of 3 to 5 minutes. Again, people watch, but also not too much. It must be interesting from day one or from the minute that you start the video. Okay. Conduct live sessions, very, very important. When you do live sessions, people actually engage. They listen more. They feel you are more connected. They understand and see you. Post behind the scenes what is happening twice at least in a month, and try and see what you can do. Respond to customer queries within 30 minutes, as I said before, and we try and keep it moving as much. There must be something called call to action button, meaning that if I press that button, it will either take me to WhatsApp or to Messenger, meaning that you can engage with the person almost one-on-one and in a very quick way. So how do you move next? As you grow your audience, you must have what we call super peers. Super peers are people who help you. People understand what you're talking about. Like right now, we're in this meeting. We have Dale, we have Matthias. These are super peers. They help us take the product to the market. So these are guys who will always be there with you. They'll always need to understand. They'll always be able to take the same concept that you have, copy and paste, and also do it for themselves, meaning that you are actually scaling up. So you must identify your super peers from the audience that you're actually going to create. So it's very, very important that we have the super peers, okay? They must understand some basic things. They must have the formal loyalty program, which is MDC. Make a fuss about your product. You must have them back up what you're doing. If it's a meeting, let them make noise, let them share the content as much as they can. Create other new super peers, okay? People who actually are below them, another level. Analyze behavior and learn from what they're doing if you're actually all speaking the same language, okay? I'll not go through all the details, but I think you get the idea of exactly why you must have super peers. You must have people to support. This is almost like an inner circle. And I think, Dale, you talked about the inner circle. These are the super peers that we talk about, okay? So the logic behind super peers is that they help you reduce on the costs that you would spend if you are boosting your product or if you are going to the market. There's always a backlash meaning that there's always a second layer of super peers who can actually come up from who are there. So again, this is the whole essence of trying to have super peers in your team. Finally, I'll give you something we call a lean canvas. And a lean canvas will help you understand. You must fill it out in a way that you're able to understand what is it that you're looking for. This will actually help you come up with details of exactly how to go to the market. Okay, what do you have at hand? What is working for you? What is not working for you? I would want to talk about this at a different level, Dale, if you'll allow me. Not today, but maybe even how to understand how to work with the lean canvas, because it actually helps you come up with your lean startup process. So it's something that I think anybody can do and anybody can fill in. Matthias, with all due respect, I think I'm almost done. I want to ask questions, or maybe I can receive some questions.
Absolutely. Thanks, Steve, for that insightful presentation. And I think I'll just ask anybody on the call who has any question, any comment. Please, you're welcome to share, to ask. Steve will be at hand to answer, to respond. Feel free to raise anything, or to maybe something wasn't very clear. Feel free to ask that question as well. I know we have a few who have dropped off. At some point, we were about 11 people on the call. But any comments, any questions are welcome concerning what Steve has presented and about the business in general.
Well, I'll start off by just saying great job, Stephen. And for those that are on the call, remember we have our office in Westlands in Nairobi, and Stephen has things set up there so we can actually do presentations, videos and things like that for your advertising. So all you need to do, and I'll let Stephen elaborate on that. But do you have specific times, Stephen, when people can come in and schedule a time to perhaps work with you to create a video for themselves?
Yes, I can. And I think the most important thing, this is a very theoretic exercise, what we have done today. I would love to do a physical, or one that is practical. Practical means that we actually post and we actually follow through and understand why we have the numbers that we have, or why we get numbers up. So it's important to understand, first, to understand the whole theory, which may sound a bit boring, but at the same time, if we can actually understand what we're actually doing, then it makes a lot of sense thereafter. So these are options that we can give. We can teach both offline and online, meaning that there are people who would want to take their FFX to the market. I can engage. We can agree on a timeline where we actually come online and share the same. Or for those who can be able to make it to the office, on Mondays, I usually have a class for those who are willing to learn about social media. It's an interesting topic. It's one that I think is if you understand the metrics of exactly what you're doing, then you should not have a problem. For Florence, she says it's a lot to learn for one day, but we all learned, we all took the same steps. So I mean, every day learn something small. Learn something small. So Matthias, if you'll allow me to share something small as we wait for the questions.
Please go ahead. as Steve is preparing what he wants to share, just in response to Florence's comment, yes, social media or online marketing is very new to a lot of people in our market. Corporate organizations use it a lot to grow their audience. At an individual level, you've seen influencers and people like that brands can attach themselves to and reach their audience. And it might look very overwhelming. It may look very big to think about, and sometimes you even wonder, where do I start? But like Steve has said, a step at a time, Steve has done a good job of just showing us what the steps are. And usually you just take the first step, work on that, determine your market and determine what aspect of the product you want to promote in that market. That's the first step. And then figure out now what kind of content do you want to take out to that particular market. If you think about it from a holistic view, it might look extremely difficult, extremely big, overwhelming. But when you break it down to individual steps that you need to take in your social media marketing, then it becomes something that you can actually do. It looks tenable, it looks practical. Yeah, so don't be afraid to take the first step. Don't also be afraid to make a mistake. Mistakes are part of learning. So just take a step, do something with what information you have. Talk to somebody who is experienced in this. Let them guide you on how to improve what you've just done or what the next step would be. Back to you, Steve.
Yes, so basically here you can see we have a page which has taken us exactly about a year to build. We have 1.8 members, which I think is fairly very good compared to the product timeline that we have had it. It runs across everywhere, okay? Visitors, we have seen the visitors who are there, okay? And these are people who actually come in. It's specifically dedicated to our products. So like, for example, I have this.
Inaitwa Fuel Factor X. Fuel Factor X inakusaidia wewe kupunguza gharama yako ya mafuta kwa 30%. Ndio, umenisikia sahihi. Asilimia ngapi? 30. Inafanyaje kazi? Fuel Factor X inafanya kitu wenzetu wanasema lowering the ignition temperatures, sababu ina compound kimimina kiitwacho organometallic compound. Inachofanya ni kwamba inaenda kulaini.
Okay, so basically what I have done is that sorry about that. So what I've technically done is we have been able to make videos which are very specific, targeted to specific audiences. This is the Swahili speaking audience. Anybody who sees this will actually understand the information that is actually being shared. And this is why you say you have picked the product and you have brought out the specific requirements or needs of who we have. So it's important to actually be able to note and understand that this will actually go very far. If you look at already the insights which are there, if I was to look at this was posted today. Okay, so already we have about 6 engagements. Okay, still growing, but if we went to something else, let me look at an older one. you look at this, again, the engagements, but we are getting a lot of engagements at the back office. And that you can actually see from the comments that we get at the back, because quite a number of people are actually asking questions. Maybe they would not want to come out 100% at the front, but if you look every day, we have people are asking questions and who would want to get answered, and they would want to order and do all sorts of things, and they're giving numbers and everything else on being able to connect. Now, I would want to show you this in a better way when we are using your platform, because all this can be your audience if you would have wanted, okay? And the beauty of Facebook is it covers about 3 or 4 channels. That's Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, and many others. So again, we're able to reach a very wide audience depending on exactly how far and how quickly. Now, this specific one is connected to this specific one is connected to this specific one is connected to it's connected to Instagram and WhatsApp. So I don't want to engage too much, but I think we'll need a practical part of this to actually understand exactly how this comes around and how quickly this can be done, and how quickly you can actually create an audience, your own audience, from whatever that is there. Okay, so you see these are comments which have come through. We post all our details here. Anything that you want to touch, it tells you how many people that have actually been there. Okay, so again, we have an audience. Now what we need to do is to take it up, or take it in a different direction, and create smaller groups that can actually be able to engage with us, the peer members that you are talking about. Matthias, back to you. I hope I'm making sense.
Yes, you are. There's a question or a comment by, again, Florence says she's ready to learn. That's great. Learning is very important. John says, this is too theoretical. We need to make it real and practical based on the knowledge in the current market. How would you respond to that comment?
If everyone would open a Facebook account dedicated to Facebook, I can actually take them through the steps of what they need to do, and shoot the areas where I think we can add value to them, because that is, they are going to be the audience. If it's somebody who is coming from South Sudan, then there's a niche market for this particular product. I would be able to guide them. This is very general, and as I've said, when it's too general, then we miss the point. But I think we learn from one another. So I think there's a session that most probably we'll ask them to set up, or we give them instructions on how to set up, and then maybe from there we work it out on how and what they need to share. You can come up with material to actually help them take it to the market. Matthias.
Okay, thanks, Steve. Maybe just add a little bit to that response. John, I know you're in Juba, South Sudan, the city of Juba. You are an affiliate, and you connected to MDC and FFX through Alfred. There's something I just want to demonstrate to you here. Alfred came onto the business, came on board through Sue Ariella, who's not on the call today. However, how did Alfred get to know from Sue about the business? It was through what Steve mentioned a bit earlier, a paid ad. Sue put up an advertisement on her FFX Facebook page. She boosted the ad, small budget. I remember it was quite small. And through that, she was able to reach an audience. And Alfred and others reached out to her, got information about the product, got information about the business, and they came on board. And through that, you also came on board. So I was just trying to show you some of the practicalities how this actually does work practically. The results, if you do it well, if you do it properly, the results are seen. And I know Alfred was just one response out of many. I know Sue and Dan and myself, we've received a lot of responses through Facebook ads from different countries, Zambia, Malawi, Congo, South Africa, Tanzania. These are people that we actually keep having on the call. They all came through Facebook ads. And it is actually an effective tool. Now, we are also developing ourselves, even though we have some information on how to go about it. We are still fine-tuning the process, what we are doing, how we are reaching the audience, what kind of content and what kind of message in that content. So it is practical at the end of the day. Now, just to echo what Steve said, to reach a specific audience like those in Juba, you really have to, sit down and ask yourself, what kind of information do these people actually need? And how do I reach them through social media, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, or any other platform that's available to us? So it does translate to orders at the end of the day. It does. In fact, we were calculating the cost of an ad in terms of FFX sachets, and we realized it costs one sachet to come up with an order of about 1,000 or 1,500 USD worth of product. So it is practical and it works. I know we have run out of time. It's actually already 1 minute after the hour. Steve, do you have anything else you'd like to add before I pass it on to Dale to add?
For me, I don't have much to add. What I would say is encourage guys to tell them, look, during the day, connect with guys, okay, physically. When you sit at home between 7 and 9 or 11 o'clock, go online, share your products, ask us for content. We shall share with you what we have, and we'll guide you on how we can actually be able to post. So it's very important that we use these channels and not just let them slide away from us. Very, very important for us. A bit of theory, my apologies, but we must understand exactly where we want to go and how we want to go about it. So I've shared our web page for the group just to learn something and maybe see something. We are not as active as we should be, Matthias, but I think that's something that we can actually straighten out. For me, I would just want to say thank you for giving me the opportunity. Sorry, it has run a bit longer than I'd expected. A bit of too much content, but I think value adds a lot if given the opportunity. Dale, do you have something to maybe add?
Can I say something before then?
Yes, John.
Yeah, thank you very much. I was the one who posted the link to the article, but it's okay. But one thing I want to, when you are now, you have to create space for us, especially in South Sudan.
Yes.
Maybe once a week you engage, you just take us through maybe 1 hour. Through our leader, I think you can connect that so that we also learn how to go about.
Not a
I know
problem.
in South this will be taken. Even when we are moving now, they are asking for the product. Why is it? Why is it? So they want really to make sure that they have it, they test it, and then they act.
Okay.
Thank you.
Not a problem, John. What I'll do a special favor for you. For your South Sudan group, I will create a specific day for South Sudan, and anybody who wants to engage for the Facebook engagement and trying to see if we, and even create for you a page for South Sudan, so that we can actually grow together, and I can guide all of you on how to be able to do this on social media. John.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that.
Not a problem. Dale? Unmute, sir. Unmute.
Oh, sorry. I'll close this out just by saying it doesn't matter how you do this business, whether you do it what we call belly to belly in person, whether you're doing it by social media, whether you're doing it by texting, whether you're doing it by any way you're doing it, okay? WhatsApp, Telegram, no matter how you want to do it, the bottom line is you build this business by getting people to come to one of our presentations, like the one that we do every Thursday, or the ones that the African team does on Tuesdays. And so your people can hear about what we have to offer. And then they decide whether they want to be a customer, they want to be an affiliate, or maybe they're not interested at all. And if they're not, then we just ask them for a referral. But the bottom line is, whatever you feel comfortable doing, or whatever you feel like, what challenges you prefer to try, that's what's going to work for you. But the bottom line is, nothing happens until everybody you know knows what you're doing. So the big thing is for you to get the word out that you're doing something you're excited about and what our product does, and then invite them to a presentation. Okay. So you're either going to sell them because they trust you, or they're going to buy from you because they've seen a video or a live presentation that's going to get them excited about our product. But the bottom line is, the faster you can get as many people as possible to know what we have that we're offering, and then let them decide from there what they want to do. The biggest problem we have in our African market right now is there are millions and millions of people out there that need our product, want our product, but don't even know our product exists. So we got to get it out there. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and close this out. Thank you, Matthias, for hosting. Thank you, Stephen, for your presentation. By the way, Stephen, right after this, if you come back on, I'm back on the Zoom. We'll have a quick chat. But thank you, everybody, for being on the call, and we'll see you again as early as Thursday. I'll have my presentation with Chris Robinson. He's back from the Philippines, and we'll do an opportunity presentation for your people. So invite. Have a great day, a great evening, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.